Hola everyone, Ian here, and today I have my first Caribbean coffee that I sourced directly from the country that makes it. This is Jablum Classic Roast, and I actually got it in Jamaica. It was a free sample slash gift. One thing that I think is pretty cool is it comes in this little burlap sack, which I feel is very authentic. And in the link I'll provide later, you can actually order your own bags. Granted, they're a little expensive, but they can come in these burlap sacks as well. And normally I like to jump into history, but I actually have some cool statistics for you. Turns out actually only 22% of you are actually subscribed, so helps a hugely amount. It won't help my English, but it will help my channel if you actually subscribe, which if I remember right, subscription should be right about here if you're on computer, and depending on your mobile app, it's probably right about there. So please feel free to subscribe. It really helps support my channel. And jumping into the Jablum history, apologies for that squeak in there. So the Jamaican coffee story begins in 1729 when the British governor of Jamaica imports some Arabica coffee seedlings from Hispaniola, which isn't too far away. And nearly 200 years later in 1923, Victor and Edna Munn started the Mavis Bank Coffee Factory, which produces this, in Mavis Bank, Jamaica, which is like a really tiny town in Jamaica. After World War II, their management shift passed on to Victor and Edna's nephew, Keeble, and Keeble then achieved their first export in 1953 with Japan out of all countries in the world. That was their first destination. However, only 2 years later, in 1955, a fire did destroy their main coffee factory, but I would say the Munn family's pretty resistant because within the same year of 1955, they rebuilt their main coffee factory so they could get back into business. At unpublished time, I tried to find a year, but I couldn't. Management of the company shifted from Keeble to Edgar Munn, who would be Victor and Edna's grandson. And in 1982, the Jablum brand was established, and eventually in the early 1990s, apologies, apparently my nose is itchy, Edgar made sure their coffees were some of the first products available online, which for the younger audience out there, the internet was pretty rough in the early 90s, so that's pretty impressive. Kind of shifting up to the modern day, close to the modern day anyway. In 1998, ownership actually started to pivot away from the family. The company was placed into receivership, and the Development Bank of Jamaica ended up getting a 70% stake in the company. And then in 2011, the company left the family entirely when it was acquired by Jamaica Producers Group and Pan Jam, which is a great company name, Pan Jam Investment Limited. And there's more corporate shenanigans going on between then and now. But basically, as of 2016, as of this recording right now, the company that owns Jablum and Mavis Bank is called Specialty Coffee Investments Limited. Yeah, that was a lot of corporate jargon at the end, so I apologize for that. But it's really cool to see, even in Jamaica, it can start as a family business and move on a few generations, and it's owned by some corporate entity. But enough about corporate entities and business. Let's take this this Jablum coffee, this non-Jablum mug, throw them together, see what we get. got my freshly brewed Jablum Classic. And overall, kind of the classic coffee scent. I didn't really pick up anything other flavor-wise, scent-wise. I didn't expect to have like a little bag inside the burlap bag, but that makes sense. Burlap's way too breathable, and you probably would have pretty terrible coffee by the time you actually ripped open the burlap and enjoyed it. So having it be vacuum sealed inside a pack makes a lot of sense. But enough about packaging. Let's give it a whirl. So far, so good. The description they put on the back of the bag says it has a lingering and haunting presence after you drink it, which definitely makes me think I should have saved this for a Halloween episode, but I don't know if I'd call it haunting or lingering. Dang it. I really wanted this to not only be an oh yeah coffee. I really wanted it to be an oh yeah coffee, because then I could do, oh yeah man, this is the coffee for you man, and then offend every Jamaican ever. But like I said, unfortunately, it is not an oh yeah coffee. But it is not an oof coffee either. Flavor profile is like high medium. So it's not a terrible score. It's not a great score. This one is another one of those, like, I'd rank it at the upper end of meh. It's like meh, you know, meh. Not quite great, but it's a good solid meh. Apparently it makes me burpy too. As for the flavor profile itself, very inoffensive, kind of more on the acidy side of coffees. But there's like no overpowering. This would be, I feel like if a cafe had this as their coffee, it'd be great. It'd be a nice cafe. It's inoffensive, but it's also not like crappy, watered down, typical cafe coffee. So while it wouldn't be as good as some other coffees I've had, this one is a solid meh, you know? Not bad, not good. I should say not great. It's like okay good. It's at that borderline of sliding into good. But I would recommend giving it a try. If you've tried it and you disagree or you do agree, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I will include a link from Jablum directly where you can purchase your own, just a heads up. It's very expensive from their website, so if you can find maybe a reseller that sells them cheaper, good for you. Otherwise, I'll just include their website. And as always, I'll include a link for some Dakota mugs for yourself so you can show off your own mood about how you're feeling. And until next time, see you next time.